Hey guys, how's it going? It's Chris here, and for today's video I want to talk about Black Ops 4 Blackout beta on Xbox One and my impressions with it and issues I have and things that I liked. Now, first of all, I want to start by saying that I played the beta for, I don't know, maybe 6 to 8 hours roughly total. I played for like two of the 3 or 4 days it was available, and for only a couple hours at a time. You can see a full live stream I did about 3.5 hours long where I played all the way through, and you can explore me playing by myself and some duos and really see my first-hand opinions. But of course that's a long stream and I don't expect you to sit through that to hear all my stuff as it's happening, but if you want to, it's there. For the good things about it, I did enjoy the guns. The guns felt good to use. They felt good to put attachments on. It wasn't too complicated where it came to what items could be attached to what guns. Only sometimes did I feel kind of left out to dry when I got this Zweihander and I couldn't put a dot sight on it, whereas before I just kept picking up elos and holographics and stuff and throwing them on guns, and then I just grabbed the Zweihander and I picked it up and couldn't put a sight on it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is a gun that doesn't need it. I kind of wish that some guns had distinguishing colors outlining them or something like that, some kind of way for me to tell exactly what gun it is and what kind of class of gun it is. So for example, sometimes I found it hard to tell at first glance until I got up and stopped and I read the name of the gun, that if it was a sniper, an SMG, or an assault rifle or something. I know I'm getting used to it, and I know that the more I play the game, I'm going to understand what a gun is. I'm going to see the Titan, and I know that the Titan's a light machine gun. I'm going to see the Spitfire, and I know, okay, that's a submachine gun. But at first glance, and especially in pressure situations where you're really kind of moving fast, being able to tell what a gun is, either from a small distance or just from a quick glance, would be immensely helpful in the game, I feel. And I think that like SMGs as a class of weapon should be outlined in like light blue or something, so you know that this is an SMG. Maybe assault rifles would be like white or something, and then just something like that. They outline the guns in different ways, or maybe even have it to have a way to understand that a gun is a special class, like the Zweihander or the ray gun or something like that, where it's a gun that can't get attachments put on it and it's outlined in a different way. So when I see that, I go, if I grab that gun, I can't put attachments on it, so I need to make sure that if I make the right decision, something like that. I think that would be a slight improvement, but otherwise I did enjoy the guns. And overall, the hit detection of the game seemed pretty spot on. I was doing good with my shots from distance, and I was spraying down pretty hard, and it was working out. I was definitely not complaining and calling bull on some kills and deaths that were going on. The map itself seemed kind of course the map is big, but it was very easily traversable. I didn't really seem that, I wasn't as stressed. Like, you know how in PUBG, you drop in at Miramar and you drop at one part of the map and it's going to take you 25 years to get to the other side of the map where the zone is, and it's just a big stress ball of you just running and running and running and running and running. In this game, I would see the zone on the other side of the map. I'd be at Nuketown and I would see the zone at Asylum, and I would think to myself, oh, that's far. Oh wait, no, it's not that far. I can definitely make that. It's very plausible that I can make that in time, and as long as I just keep moving. I didn't have that overcoming stress of, oh my god, it's all the way across the map, the zones are ridiculous. I didn't feel that because the map is quote-unquote big for Call of Duty standards, but it's not too big to where anything is impossible. I did like the variety of optical attachments. There were plenty of sights. You had the ELO, you had the holo, you had a 2x, a 3x, a 4x, a sniper scope. You had a good amount of scopes, and I never really felt like I didn't have optics. In PUBG, there's always the issue of I got good guns, but I am absolutely screwed because I don't have any optics, or I don't have any good optics. In this game, it was like 1 out of every 5 games where I was like, crap, I don't have any optics, I can't find any. I could pretty much always find an optic that I could use, and seeing as the map's not very big and there's not a huge open landscape, as like I'm going to be comparing a lot to PUBG, like in Miramar, how it's just an open desert landscape, or even in Erangel, how there could be just big grassy plains and stuff. There were those, obviously, but it felt like the if I had it 2x, I could make it work in almost any situation, which was very nice. It was versatile, but also very specific, and it was good. I really enjoyed that, and I did enjoy the attachments you could put on all the guns, though sometimes it didn't really feel like I knew exactly. I was just kind of putting attachments on guns. I wasn't really planning what I was putting on. That's kind of what I liked about PUBG, is I could kind of plan what attachments were going on what guns to optimize it in a certain way, but this is just like, oh, you got a grip, you got yourself extended extended mags or fast mags, you got a stock, and you got an optic. It was just very basic. I'm sure they'll probably be adding more attachments as we go along, perhaps even gun class specific attachments, which would be nice, but it just kind of felt like, oh, there's attachment, throw it on, throw it on, throw it. You're just mindlessly attaching, which is good because you want to be moving fast, but at the same time, I didn't really feel like I was optimizing my gun for any certain situation. So it was kind of a, it was a pretty neutral thing for me, honestly. Some bad things I wanted to talk about real quick was the fact that there were a lot of times in the second day that I played. The first day when I played, I was playing solo and then duos with a friend. Now, me and my friend both had good internet connections, and we didn't have any issues. I'm playing on an Xbox One S, and I don't know what he was playing on, either a standard or an S. He did not have a One X, but we didn't have any issues that first day. You can see in the 3.5 hour long stream, we weren't really running into issues besides maybe a crash here or there. However, the second day that we were playing, but me and my brother Dylan were playing, and I'm playing on a 1S. I believe he's playing on the Xbox original, and we were running into issues for we streamed for like an hour and a half, and it was just issues the entire time. The game would crash constantly for him. We weren't able to join each other. As soon as we loaded up Blackout, the game itself, the private beta, the entire Xbox would start to go frame by frame. Your guide menu would be slow. Every action you take would be slow. It would be chunky, and it wouldn't return into a normal state until you would have to force close the game, and then it would work again. It would actually affect your Xbox with its poor performance. And then once we got into the game, we were getting dropped left and right. He kept getting disconnected or kicked from the server, removed from the lobby, and we were having issues. I finally experienced my first Minecraft looking tree, which looked completely terrible, which is another thing I want to talk about, that the graphics themselves are complete dog shit. They're not the worst. I can definitely play with them, but the way that the shadows work, I feel like there are too many shadows or too many shadow effects. Like PUBG has its big blocky shadow areas, like a nice full cast shadow, whereas whereas Blackout just kind of feels like they just kind of like grabbed a wet paintbrush of shadows and just kind of threw shadows everywhere. And it makes sense in a realistic way, but I feel like they need to tone down the shadows because it makes it feel like impossible to see somebody because there's so many just random dark splotches of shadows that everything kind of looks like a person, therefore nothing looks like a person. And I don't know about you guys, but I also kind of felt like everything right in front of me within like 50 feet was in focus, but it felt like everything else out of that was out of focus. I couldn't see much in the distance, and I know that's kind of like the render distance, but in a battle royale game where seeing somebody far away and being able to react to that and position yourself before they see you or as they see you is the difference between life and death in a lot of cases. So being able to see somebody a couple 100 feet away or even in the town over it's bar none. It's needed. You need to be able to see people from distance. You can't just be relying on close quarters vision and just see that the rest of the world is pixelated and blurry and just kind of crap looking. Because that's not what a Battle Royale game, that's a Call of Duty game. This is Battle Royale. You need to see people, and this game does not do that. It's very difficult. And again, sometimes trees and textures and leaves would just turn into Microsoft Paint versions of themselves. It was worse than what people were saying with Minecraft. It was awful looking, and it made it impossible to even distinguish what was a person at times. I know everyone complains about the body armor, but for real, armor is God, and armor is ridiculous. If you have a level 1 armor, it's almost like having no armor. Level 2 armor, it's pretty good. I really enjoy having level 2 armor. It gets me out of gunfights, it keeps me alive. Level 3 armor is just playing as a juggernaut in Call of Duty Ghosts. It is absolute insanity. I've seen so many clips of people on Twitter shooting at somebody who has level 3 armor and just watching them soak entire magazines into their body and then just like two-tapping you. Like, I understand it's level 3 armor, and when I have level 3 armor, it's so nice to have, but at the same time, it seems so unbalanced and so unfair that it's just, when someone has level 3 armor, you just go, well, that's it, I'm dead, there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm sure that's going to get nerfed. It's like having Painkiller in Modern Warfare. It's like having Painkiller and Juggernaut at the same time, and plus 50 more health. It's ridiculous. Other than that, I think one of my favorite things about the beta and about the game itself is just how quickly you can get in and out of matches. If you play a game and then you die, you can get I timed it, you can get into another match. If you get back to the lobby, back to the menu, and queue up immediately, you can get into another game. Your feet can touch the ground in under a minute and a half. Sometimes. A lot of the times. You can get into the game and I guess parachuting down in under a minute and a half. That is awesome. It makes it so much less heartbreaking when you die. Whenever you die in PUBG, it's like 5 minutes before you can get back into a game, because you got to get kicked out to the menu, and that's a loading screen. You got to load up at the menu, and then it's got to like render, it's got to situate where you are, it's got to validate that you and your party are all in the menu, then you have to ready up, your friend has to ready up, then you got to wait there, and then it finds a team, and then it loads you into a loading screen, and then you get dropped into the zone, into the training area for like 40 seconds while it loads other players, and then you get in the plane. Then you have 15 seconds from the plane to when you can actually drop, and then when you drop, descending to the ground takes like 30 seconds, and then you finally get to the ground, and then you die again, and it's been like 5 minutes. You have to do that all over again. That is frustrating, and it makes me not want to play the game. Blackout, when I die, I go, I died, damn it, that sucks. Whatever, I can get back into a game in less than 2 minutes. It's awesome. It's so fast. And just descending on your parachute, you can zip from the helicopter to the ground in like less than 10 seconds. And I freaking love that. But at the same time, that scares me, because people, you know that if you're going to try to drift somewhere, that there's at least half of the other people you're playing against who have already made it to the ground and have already scavenged guns and are already getting their setup, while you're still trying to get to the island. While you're still trying to drift to Nuketown, people are all around you already on the ground. And they've been on the ground for like a minute while you're drifting, and it's kind of scary how fast you can get to the ground. It makes you really question whether or not you want to even try to drift somewhere, or if it's just smarter to drop directly underneath the plane and just hit the ground running. So I don't really know, but that's something I like and also am afraid of. One thing that I did notice in the game that I enjoyed while it was there, but it made me kind of question the fairness of it, was finding decked out guns. What I mean by that, obviously, is that you find a gun on the ground that it's gold, it has full attachments on it, and that's great for the situation. You go, hell yeah, I just lucked out, I got myself a decked out gun. But it seemed like I was finding them kind of too often. I would find a decked out SMG, a decked out Paladin, which you should never find a decked out Paladin. And it just seemed like in a game, if I was to stay alive to like the last 10 people, I would find 3 or 4 fully decked out guns, where I really should have only found 1, maybe 2. It just seems like there are too many. And also, there are way too many bandages in the map. There are a lot of items. It's not even fully a scavenging game, because everything is available, basically. You land in one town, and you can fully stock up on heals. You can get yourself 2 guns, have 2 guns you didn't pick up, be full on ammo for those 2 guns, and have some equipment and perks. If you land in any town and you get to loot it freely, you can completely have everything you need, which is good, but at the same time scary, because that means everyone has everything they need, and it's basically just playing Call of Duty, but you only have 1 life. You're basically loading into the game with a randomized loadout, because everything is available, which is cool, it's fun, it's nice when I'm playing, but at the same time it's scary, because I am not the only one who lucked out. Everyone has basically the exact same equipment as I do. I feel like they need to cut the equipment in half and make it a little bit more scarce to find bandages and first aids, because you can just heal constantly. Which is another thing that I like, that you can actually heal while running, but I don't like that you can't access your menu while running. You can't press start and item manage while running, which I understand. I understand that using the sticks in the menu is going to interfere. If you're trying to run and look around, you might mess something up. But that's where I feel like we need to have auto run like in PUBG, so you can manage your menu while your character runs forward. That would be nice. That's another thing that I do like that I thought I wasn't going to like, is that kind of quick menu. If you press up on the D-pad, you can access your quick inventory, and you can manage your inventory there, and I really, really enjoy that. When I saw a video of it and I started messing with it, I didn't like it at first, because I really enjoy PUBG's menu system. I'm very fast at it, I'm very efficient with it, I know exactly what I'm doing in the menu, and Call of Duty to me right now is still very clunky, but I do like the quick menu. It's very nice, it's helpful, and it's almost already intuitive, which is very good. Another thing that I do like, but again, that also scares me. It seems like that's all this video is like, here's something I enjoy, but it's also scary because I don't want it used against me. And that's how quickly you can revive your teammates. Basically, when you get downed, your friend can come over to you and revive you in less than 5 seconds, whereas in PUBG, it takes 10 full seconds to be revived, leaving both of you vulnerable while you're getting revived. In Blackout, you're up in 5 seconds and back in the game. You do have to heal, obviously, but your teammate, there's like no stress when you get down, as long as you get down in a safe area, because your teammate can just pick you up like that. It's crazy. But that also leaves a problem of when you down somebody, you essentially have to immediately rush them, because if you don't immediately rush them or spam them with grenades or flush out their other teammate within 10-20 seconds, they're going to have their friend up and they're going to be combating you again. You have to down them and then immediately get in there and kill them. Otherwise, you can't reposition, you can't bide your time for a second and wait for them to go try to revive their friend, and then within that 10-second window get up behind them, get a grenade, get them both or whatever. No, it's they're downed, and you know that if they get even close to their friend, they're gonna get them up and then they're gonna start shooting back at you. So you have to rush them, you have to demolish them as soon as you get somebody down, which gives you a whole rush. It gives you a new incentive, but that's like counterintuitive to how a lot of people have been playing in other Battle Royale games where it takes longer to revive. So it's going to be something to get used to, but I feel like the mechanic's going to be good. I feel like it's going to work out, but it's just going to take some getting used to. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Those are some examples. This is going on way too long. I know I have more things to talk about, but that is my first impressions of the beta, the things that popped into my head with a non-scripted video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like. If you want to see the Blackout videos I've done, I will link them at the end here. And hopefully when the game's out in about a month, you guys will join me on stream. I'll see you in the next one. Later.